A sealed evidence box sat untouched for 11 years until a clerk noticed the wrong victim name printed on the label. Not misspelled. Completely wrong. And that mistake was about to unravel a murder conviction everyone thought was airtight. The case was supposed to be simple. One victim, one suspect, one confession. Case closed in 9 days. The headlines called it the fastest homicide conviction in county history. Police called it clean. But clean cases don't get mislabeled evidence. The victim was found in a parked car behind a closed grocery store. Engine off. Lights off. No struggle inside. Single gunshot wound. Wallet untouched. Phone missing. Execution style, that's what detectives said. Security footage showed only one person approaching the vehicle that night. Evan Rook. He was arrested 36 hours later. And then came the confession. Recorded. Signed. Done. Except the recording has no timestamp. And the interview room clock, visible in frame, jumps forward 47 minutes between cuts. No one noticed. Until now. Evan recanted 2 days after the confession. Said he was fed details. Said detectives corrected him mid-statement. Said the gun description he gave was wrong, because police told him the right answer off-camera. The jury never heard that claim, because the judge ruled the confession clean and voluntary. Conviction followed. Life sentence. No appeal success. End of story. Except it wasn't. Because of the label. The evidence box, logged under the wrong victim, never got digitized with the rest of case files. It sat in overflow storage. Forgotten. Until a barcode audit triggered a mismatch alert. When they opened it, they found something nobody expected. A second bullet. Same caliber. Different trajectory angle. Logged, but never introduced at trial, which was impossible. There was only supposed to be one shot. Ballistics ran it again. The bullet didn't match the murder weapon. Not even close. Which raised the first forbidden question. If there were 2 shots, why did the autopsy report only describe one? They pulled the original autopsy photos. Page 3 was missing. Not blurred. Not redacted. Gone. Photo sequence jumped from image 12 to image 18. Medical examiner retired. Moved overseas. No forwarding contact. Then the grocery store camera footage was reprocessed using modern enhancement software. Originally, it showed one approacher. Now it showed 2. The second figure stayed outside frame edge, visible only as a reflection in the car's chrome trim. Standing still, watching, timing the moment, never mentioned in reports. Because no one enhanced reflections back then. Investigators dug into dispatch logs. A patrol car drove past that lot 6 minutes before the shooting. Dashcam active. But the video file in archives is only 14 seconds long. Metadata says it should be 9 minutes. The missing segment was overwritten. Not corrupted. Manually overwritten. 3 days after the arrest. Then came the stranger shock. The overwritten file ID belonged to a training server, not evidence storage. Meaning someone moved it first. Only supervisors had that permission. One supervisor signed off on Evan's confession. Same badge number. Internal Affairs quietly opened a review. That's when the threat letter arrived. Not emailed. Not mailed. Hand-delivered to records intake. No fingerprints. Single sentence printed. You already convicted the right fall guy. Not wrong man. Right fall guy. Meaning whoever sent it knew the conviction was false. And intentional. They checked visitor logs. Only one non-staff person entered records that morning. A true crime podcaster. Scheduled for a tour. Except she canceled the night before. Security footage confirmed it. She never came. Someone used her name to get inside. Then Evan, from prison, requested an emergency call with the review board. First time he'd ever asked for one. He said, "You're looking at the wrong part of the case." They asked what he meant. He said, "The murder didn't happen behind the grocery store." Silence. He continued, "That's where they moved the body." Transport lividity photos were re-examined. Blood pooling pattern didn't match seated position. It matched sideline position. Different location. Different surface. meaning the car wasn't the primary scene, which means all trajectory math was wrong. All of it. Ground search radar was brought to the suspect's original arrest site, an abandoned repair garage he used to work at. They weren't expecting much. They found a bullet lodged in a concrete support beam. Same caliber, same rifling marks as the second bullet in the forgotten box. Not the supposed murder weapon. A different gun entirely. Then the biggest twist landed. Gun registry trace came back. That weapon, the real ballistic match, was registered to a police officer. Active duty. Same precinct. Same shift. Same night. Same supervisor chain. Internal Affairs moved to detain him for questioning. He didn't show up. His patrol car was found parked. Engine warm. Body camera moved. Radio left on the seat. Gun locker empty. And one more thing. At 2:14 a.m., 1 hour after he vanished, Evans' prison phone account received a deposit from an anonymous police union fund with a memo line, "Stay quiet. The review board meets in 48 hours. The conviction may be vacated unless the missing officer is found first, because if he talks, the entire department could collapse." And tonight, someone just tried to access the evidence vault again. While access alert came in at 2:17 a.m., 3 minutes after someone tried to override the lock. 3 minutes after a silent alarm flagged an unauthorized badge attempt. Security pulled camera feeds. Hallway cam, static burst. Vault cam, loop footage. Time stamp frozen for exactly 11 minutes. Not a glitch. A replay injection that required inside credentials and deep system knowledge when they checked the access badge used in the attempt. It belonged to a supervisor who died 2 years ago. Badge never deactivated. No one removed it from the system, which meant someone kept it alive on purpose. Inside the vault, one box had been moved, not stolen, shifted 3 inches forward. The mislabeled evidence box. The one with the second bullet. The one that reopened everything. On top of it now sat something new, a yellow sticky note, for words written in block letters. You missed the audio. No prints. No fibers. Handwriting too generic to match. But the message was right, because there was audio no one reviewed. Not from the crime scene, from the confession room. Modern software enhanced the original interrogation recording, not the police copy. The building's backup mic feed. Different channel. Always running. Never muted. Never disclosed. Because most people don't know interrogation rooms record on 2 systems. Not one. The official tape had clean pauses, neat transitions. But the backup feed had the raw room tone. And buried under one of those silent gaps. Voices. 3 of them. Not 2. Voice 1, lead detective. Voice 2, Evan. Voice 3, unknown. Not introduced. Not identified. Not acknowledged on record. And at minute marker 1842, that third voice says, "Don't use the car location. Use the store lot version." Detective answers, "Got it." That line never appeared in transcripts. Never played in court, because the official recording cut right before it. They ran voice comparison. Partial match hit. Same missing officer tied to the ballistic weapon, which meant he was in the room during confession. Off record. Off camera. Coaching the narrative. Building the crime scene story before it existed. The prosecution was notified at sunrise. By noon, 2 motions were filed. Emergency conviction review. Evidence tampering inquiry. By 2 p.m., the district server suffered a breach attempt. Target folder? Confession backups. Somebody was still trying to clean the past. Then the case flipped again. Because the grocery store reflection figure, the second silhouette, got enhanced further. Height estimate updated. Weight range calculated. Gait pattern extracted. It didn't match the missing officer. Didn't match Evan. Didn't match anyone in the original file. But it matched someone else in the department. Someone unexpected. The original responding patrol officer. First on scene. Declared vehicle depth location valid. Without perimeter expansion. He cleared the wider area in under 6 minutes. Procedure says minimum 20. They pulled his body cam. File existed. Length, 0 seconds. Corrupt header, but metadata showed something chilling. Manual stop triggered. For minutes before dispatch logged him arriving, meaning he turned the camera off before he officially got there. You only do that if you know what you're about to see, or what you're about to do. Investigators went to bring him in. He was home, calm, cooperative. Too cooperative. He said he'd been waiting for them. Then he asked one question. Did you find the second scene yet? They hadn't released that detail publicly. Not to media, not to staff, which meant he knew, because he was there. He didn't ask for a lawyer. He asked for a map. He circled an industrial drainage site near the old repair garage. Ground radar scanned it that afternoon. They found blood traces deep in the runoff grate. Old, but preserved in sediment. DNA matched the victim. Primary scene confirmed. Vehicle was staging, exactly like Evan claimed from prison, which raised a terrifying possibility. Evan wasn't guessing. He was told, but here's where it breaks wide open. Timestamp reconstruction put 2 officers at that drainage site the night of the murder. The missing officer and the first responder, but also a third device. A phone, burner model, registered to no one, yet its movement pattern matched the victim's last known route, meaning someone followed him, intercepted him, moved him, then staged everything. Phone tower triangulation showed the burner stayed active for 11 minutes after the staged car scene, then powered off. Last ping came from inside the police precinct parking structure, not outside. Inside. Internal Affairs stopped calling it a review. They called it a corruption probe. Because now the question wasn't who killed the victim. It was how many officers helped cover it up. Then financial records dropped. The victim, before death, transferred $240,000, split 3 ways, 3 accounts. One belonged to a shell company, owned by a retired detective, who trained both officers now under suspicion. Training records showed he specialized in crime scene staging. The retired detective was located, alive, in a private care facility. Memory issues on file. But when shown the victim's photo, he said one clear sentence. That one wasn't supposed to die. Not murdered. Not attacked. Not targeted. Supposed to die. Meaning the outcome was planned. But the victim was wrong. Wrong target. Wrong identity. Which means the murder may have been a mistake. And the cover-up intentional. Evan wasn't just a fall guy. He was a replacement suspect. Picked fast. Processed faster. Locked away before anyone asked the right questions. The review board vote is tomorrow morning. Vacate or uphold. But tonight, the evidence server went dark. Backup drives failed. Mirror copies wiped. Except one. An offline archive nobody remembered. Stored, ironically, in the mislabeled box registry. And what's inside that archive has never been seen by the court.